Okay, well, I'm going to try to set up a civilization game. I'm going to set it up so that it's completely random. And I'm going to set it up on the difficulty to go to Viceroy. Game speed, I'm going to do online just to make it move along a little quicker. That just moves the speed of the yields. They're a little higher, and it moves the game along more quickly, as I understand it. And I'll even throw shuffle on that type. Throw it onto standard. Continuity, yes. When I'm doing these settings, okay, so I've got it sitting on Viceroy across the board. One thing I would like to do is turn off the crises just because they annoy me. You might not have noticed it, that I did that. I don't know. And then for player, I'll leave that alone. Okay, so let's just see what we get. For mementos, I'll stick with the basics that I usually do. And for me, usually I pick either scientific or cultural. In this case, I'll do, you know what? And then I use economic for the other. Because as I expand cities, I want to make sure I'm getting that gold bonus. And then same with either the science or the culture, depending on the civ. But I don't control it, so usually I just kind of pick randomly between science or culture, because I want
You were
to boost in
born
one of
to
them.
Mugen, but the world knows you as Genghis
Military.
Khan,
Okay, so this would be a good
the universal
example
ruler,
of
the terror
what
of the
happens when I
steppe.
get a civ that I don't.
At your
doesn't fit my
word, the
playstyle.
hordes ride, armies flee, walls
I've got
crumble,
Genghis
and hopes
Khan,
fail. Take up your bow,
Mongolian.
Kargan. The world has gone soft. Let it know fear. A name whispered in the nightmares of the settled lands. The Mongol.
Alright. So I'm going to probably ignore his capabilities. So right away, I don't see any of these that are absolute must-have that I need to move closer to. So I'm just going to move around. As you know, I like to rename my cities because then I can always keep track of the order in which I do them. And what I do right off the bat is I get 4 scouts in training right away. I queue them up. And oops.
The radiance of the new world came into being.
I forgot to go in and set my attributes. So yeah, for economic, get that gold going, get the science going. I'm not even going to look at the attributes. I'm just going to fly through here. If I'm on a shoreline, sometimes I'll go with sailing first, but normally I go animal husbandry just so I can get that slinger, but for me, I just try to get them out exploring as soon as I can. I'm doing sailing just so I can take advantage of the water right away. I always prioritize production when I'm expanding, unless there's a really big advantage to a certain resource. Like sometimes in a case like this, I might jump toward rubies because I want the gold boost early on. But in this case, I just really want to get that production moving. And if I get out this way, there's production over here and production over here. So that's the way I'm going to go. And then I'm going to... I'm not going to quite use my thing I do, but I just ignore that because I don't trust my methods, I guess. So here, so again, I kind of want to move toward these because they're production heavy. So I'm going to choose this one since it does also give me a production on my way over.
Simplement, citoyen Lafayette, s'il vous plaît.
Making friendly with them. One thing that's always worth doing, and I don't know if it's something you do or not, but when you have a move and you're in an open space especially, and you want to kind of figure out where you want to explore, you move it one of your 2 moves, and then you use this one right here, the search. And that blows up the view, gives you a lot of visibility right away, and right away I can see that I want to head over here to go grab that ruin. Okay, so I've got a civ already down here really close. I don't like that. So I'm going to move down that way to kind of get a closer look at what
The fair breeze.
Okay, and I got sailing, so...
Anaku Gilgamesh, Nerna Shirkisti Eren.
I don't do anything special with them right away. Yeah, let's make our way down this way. I'm going to move him 1, and then I'm going to do my trick of revealing. Okay. So that tells me I should probably head out to the ocean. This is probably the end of that landmass there.
I protect thee with this flame, and I drive away the...
So I'm stronger in science, so I'm probably going to go culture. A lot of times I'll purposely pick the culture in the beginning with the what do you call them? When I'm choosing at the beginning, I can't think of the word. I have the bonus on culture usually, because then I can use this one here and get a production and science boost. But I did kind of the reverse this time, so I'll force myself on this path. I like to take advantage of the science deals when they do them, unless I find city-states real early. But just totally depends. Like in this case here, you can see I'm ahead on science, middle of the road on culture, so it's not bad. I'll take it. I almost always jump to mysticism so I can get that bonus going. Lately on this, I use it to either compensate for science or culture. I personally like the culture one a lot better in general, because I like to be able to get those influence bumps, because that can be kind of an equalizer. If you're attacking me with influence, I need some sort of fallback at wartime. And if I have some influx of influence, I can save myself from being swallowed up by that. I don't like that because I want the culture boost, but I don't want to lose 25 gold. I'll just do it anyway. Okay, we're going to send this guy. Water, yeah, that goes there. Okay, so at this point I usually switch over to focus on production buildings. I don't jump at food buildings until I really have to, because the production boosts are just way too important early on. But I'm going to try to open up this one just so I can get that boost when I'm ready for it. Alright, I make my one move and I reveal some map. Okay, now I know I don't really need it. Well, I guess there could be a mast down there, I guess. Follow the river. This guy I'm going to send down that way. Well, let's see if I can make my way over here. Oh, I can. 4 of them usually is a good amount of scouts, because then I can kind of send them in every direction and adapt. Plus, I usually get somebody killed at some point. So now in this case, 1, 2, 3. That's the one I would worry about the computer taking, but I think they kept us far enough away. I'm going to take that because I want both the combat bonus as well as the production. Well, I can't take advantage of that too bad, but let's go pottery. I don't need walls just yet. Okay, so now yeah, it's a pretty long haul through that channel, so I think I'm going to go up around on the lake there. I could have taken the shoreline, but I want to let this guy come in. Try not to have to use influence on things like open borders unless I absolutely have to. So again, I'm going to make my one move, do that. Oh good, I found the guy. So I need to get to 85 if I want to start friending him.
There is another world, but it is in this one.
Take the bonus. Let's see. I'm going to take a look at and see what Mongolia has to offer here. So I've got the settlement limit and an additional slot. I do like opening up tradition slots sooner than later, just because I really like using traditions and policies to kind of accelerate things. But I don't care about cavalry. I do maybe settlement unit at some point. Syncretism is always a biggie because if you can get buildings that help you. I don't usually rush and get my discipline. I don't care about my commander too much because I don't focus much on military early. Sometimes I jump at mysticism too if I really want to jump at this Great Steel. If I know I'm going to play a wonder game, that Great Steel is fantastic because you'll always get 200 each time you build one. And if you can jump to that, it's great. But usually it's hard to build that early anyway. So anyway, I'm going to try to head toward some syncretism there. Okay, on these, I know you're a big fan of doing the God of the Sun because you get the multiple bonuses. That is a really good choice. Sometimes if I know that I'm playing like a lot of water, I'll pick something that is a little more friendly to water. I don't know. I don't really overthink this too much. I do like sometimes doing the science on quarters if I think I'm going to be really building heavy, but I don't really know just yet what to expect. I do think there's probably going to be a lot of water, so I'm going to do production on fishing boats. I'm going to incentivize myself to go that route. That is one I commonly use. I tend to go toward production boosts when doing these sorts of policy decisions. I don't really change this until... I usually try not to change my policies around unless I have a really pressing reason. I do like to jump at settlements once I get a second settlement in place. Because again, I want to get that economy humming. You're going to be so tired of my voice by the end of this. Okay. I might have done one of
All
those there,
are
but
made of clay.
here it kind of depends. If I'm in a rough situation, I'll sometimes jump to masonry to get the walls going, but I also like to get the monument because of the little influence bonus and culture, which is great early on. But if I'm weaker on science, if I tend to pick production early, then I'll go toward science instead, because that also gives you slots for your upgrades. Yeah, I've only created one fishing boat so far. I don't usually jump at that right away. I, again, try to maximize my production yields. So I'm going to start with... looks like I have more trees than I do mines that are going to pop up, so I'm going to go with saw pit. And, oh, what expands me? This one brings me toward 10% science boost. But, yeah, I think I think this one over here, this clay, let's see, is that in range? 1, 2, 3, it is. So clay gets a production bonus on warehouse buildings. That's pretty important, so I'm going to make my way over there. Oh, I didn't really check to see if I can build settlers yet. I can. So actually, I would change my mind. As soon as I get settlers available, I prioritize getting the next settlements in place, almost no matter what I'm doing, because it's just way too important. And then I always accompany a slinger, so I usually go settler, slinger, and I'm gonna wait on the saw pit for now. I'll still queue it, but I'm gonna prioritize it last so that I have these things going. So I'll just let that do its thing.
A vapour like an oven's fire.
Okay, and I'll do the little reveal thing. And that's too bad. I'm not going to get close enough to do that. Oh, I forgot to enable my tax because I like to use those when planning. But the general rule, I think, as you're aware, is that it can expand out as far as 3 each direction. So I kind of consider my placement accordingly, if I can, so that 3 spaces away from both cities, so 6 total between them, is ideal. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This would be kind of my ideal spot, but it is a little bit close to the opponent. So this is a case where I might actually go with the recommended if I was trying to cut that off. But more than that, usually what I'm looking for, besides just geographic choke points, I'm looking for things that are going to boost, either give early boosts to culture, science, or production, or gold. I don't prioritize those as high as you might think, because 10% gold in the early game is not nearly as important as it is later. So I'm looking at this, and I'm not seeing silver or gold, which is what I really want to be seeing. But things like this are really useful, but it's just a little too close to the other players. So I think gunning for this spot here is going to be my goal, and then to try to go snag a spot over here somewhere. And then hopefully I can find something off that way. Okay. And not surprisingly, I tend to prioritize city-states that are closer or less exposed to opponents, because if their proximity to other opponents is farther, then odds are that I'll be able to get to them first and get a jump on them. But I like to go for culture or science. The thing is, I notice that you do that, so a lot of times I won't jump on those anymore. Yeah, I'm gonna do 10. I just find that it's always worth trying to get that little relationship boost right in the beginning, even though I don't like doing it. Oh, wow. Well, too bad I don't have the money for that. Well, yeah, I guess I'll just go see what's up this way. Okay, well, that kind of stinks.
Hey.
6 gold. Again, I like to take advantage of some of those things. I know I'm kind of setting myself back on city-state relationships.
There is one
lately,
tree
that's how
that
I've
speaks
been
only to
prioritizing.
the austere.
Okay, then I got into a clearing, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. No help really, but jump up here, do the same thing, a little bit of a wide view. Oh, okay, so there's gold up here, so that has me wondering if I might be able to settle to the north of him quick and get hold of that gold. To me, the gold and silver are always worth jumping at if you see them, only because in the case of gold, you get happy and gold for each settlement that you have, and I like to expand. And then silver, it's gold and is it gold and food? I can't remember. I think it's gold and food. Sorry if I'm moving really fast. I just doing my best to explain as I go.
Friedrich II. Hocherfreut, euch kennenzulernen.
Okay. Lose the unit. Ugh. Nah, it's not worth it. Really. Okay, so if I can get that guy, that would be nice. Let's see what
He was the first to construct a wall.
I probably would move over this way to see what's available, but now that I see there's a border there, I'm assuming I will be able to settle up that way. Usually I always prioritize culture, but 12 is not very much even in the early game. There's 25.
There will be time to prepare a face to meet.
I very rarely take advantage of the 3 combat strength thing because the gold is almost always more valuable to me, unless I'm just really deep in military or something. But oh boy, yeah, 6 boost. I can take it, even though I'm prolonging my city-state friendships. But you can see that's keeping me kind of competitive with the others on the numbers. Oh, I'm sorry. just realizing, let me pull my cam out. If I hover over here, you can see how I'm ranking on science and culture. I'm pretty weak on culture, but competitive on science. So yeah, that's why I tend to play it the way I do. So I don't really need to jump toward writing just yet, but I might still. Yeah, look at the tree again. Some that I usually like to jump to early if I can. Military training is great because of the blacksmith. That blacksmith lets you get the not just the production of 4 that's base, but you also get +1 on all of your quarters. And your quarters, of course, are when you have 2 buildings on a hex tile. So a completed quarter is worth a lot in that case. If you need more resource capacity, navigation is also one I like to head toward at some point. But interestingly, I don't jump there as quickly as you might think. Same with currency. I don't jump there as quick as you might think. And if I have to play, if I'm worried about military, like if I'm in tight quarters like I am now, I might jump toward bronze working just so that I can get the archers in play, which I think you do too. And then those barracks are a nice early production bonus for your cities as well. And the flanking down here is also useful. That's another big reason to jump down here at some point. But I'm going to still get my science going, I think, first, and then maybe I'll switch over to bronze working. I adapt a lot to that. And I love taking the influence, because then right away I can... Oh, look at that. I don't have cavalry units, so I'm just going to go with... Oh. That one takes only... only a policy, so... Alright. I do like that 20% growth rate in towns, because I leave it on growing focus most of the time, and I can jump toward that great deal possibly, so I'll do that. Let's see what's up here. Well, I can't get there in one move. I am going to come up here anyway and take a little peek. So yeah, I don't really have much in the way of opportunity. I'm going to see if there's any buildable area, and there's really not, so yeah, that gold is going to be off limits. My hope is that the city-state will pick it up and that I can trade with them at some point for that. So, okay. I'm going to just go ahead and send him up that way. Unprotected because I have not really seen enemies floating around there. Let's see. Are we safe? Okay, and so I have enough now that I can befriend. I really need to compensate for culture, but I guess I need a little bit more before I can do that. So that's what I'm going to go for, is that. Go for culture. So here, let's see, is this his... This is his palace. 1, 2, 3. He can't steal this from me, so I don't have to worry about that. So I can jump toward whatever I want. So I think maybe I'll go... You can see I'm running at 20 gold right now. This would give me a +4 to that. But it doesn't give me a production boost. So I might be looking to see, is there any +2 to production anywhere? There's not. So I think I'm just going to take the money. Really use that boost. Huh. I'm going to forego it this time so that I can jump for that city-state suzerain ship. So he's probably going to go up that way, so I'll bring this guy off. Too many woods there. Oh, it's a science. 2 science ones. Nice. Yeah, I'll set him up there just to get the protection after the fact.
Shiva is signless. Without...
I do like to settle near natural wonders when it's possible, especially when they're really heavy on production like that. don't think I could probably get over there, though. The other thing is that I'm really careful when I expand to make sure that I can maintain trade between. Because if you can't, then it becomes a real challenge. And so, like over here, this is a point that I would probably settle. If I wanted to go over here, I'd probably try to settle here and then settle here so that at least I have my trade routes. So I could share resources still. Try to be very careful about that. Oh, another one asking. Shoot. Yeah, not yet. Look at that. Another one. Oh, this is so bad. Okay, look at that. Feeling pretty good about that. Alright, so do I check the tip or do I come around? Oh, let's see. Looks like I'm near the north side of the map here, so odds are this guy's going to wrap around, so I'll run this guy south.
There is another one.
Sometimes I like to jump for the Oracle because it gives you the wildcard attribute point. But notice this one gives me a +2 settlement limit. I don't really need that quite so soon. But I'm trying to decide if there's something else that I really am needing. I think I'm going to jump on syncretism because I really want to get one of the other options here. So horse resources. I'm trying to look and see what the syncretism options are that are. So I'm really weak on culture. So if I were to jump toward Han so that I could have the Great Wall as my feature, I can get pretty significant boosts. Plus it gives, you know, wall-like defenses. So it's a fantastic way to kind of boost culture and happiness. I do like using that. I also like this one here because it gives culture and gold. And not only that, but it goes over the top of, well, they all kind of go over the top of existing improvements. That's one of the challenges when you're routing those things. So anyway, I do want syncretism, though, because that's going to nudge me the right direction for what I'm looking to do. I don't have other towns just yet, but that one I will put in place once I maybe have 2 towns more. Let's see what we got. Not a whole lot of help there. Okay. That guy going. And we're going to... Now for towns, I do the opposite, by the way. I focus on food, because food is going to drive the growth, and that's what you want. So the production becomes less a priority in those cases. So I'm going to... I think I'm just going to throw a granary over here to steal up some of that land, and then my grow town, I'm going to go and grab this. Even though I don't really need production for this town, I can use it on my capital and kind of get some land and knock this one out. So I'm going to move that to the capital, so at least I'm getting the benefit of the production. Oh, come on. Whenever there's trees around, I don't like to use the search as much because you can't quite see as far. I like to do it in a clearing if I'm using that feature. It still works, just doesn't work as well. Shit, really?
The spoken word.
Ooh, that's bad. Very bad. Well, this is one of those cases where I was forced to buy military just to keep my city safe, so... once he gets in range of this, he's going to be forced to stop, which means he's not going to be able to attack me. So I'm going to just turn around and get a shot at him. And I don't know, now I'm starting to think maybe I should prioritize friending this one so I'm not getting attacked constantly. Yeah, as much as I'd like to compensate for culture, I think I'm going to have to go this route. Just so I can have a safe passage through here. Okay. Nice. Hanging Gardens, Codex, and currency. Well, I can give myself a free little science boost just by getting codexes, so I think I'll bite the bullet and go that route, as much as I'd like to advance in other ways. Okay, enough of a clearing, I think. Okay. I don't like to lose science for a turn unless it gives me a lot, so I'm going to go with the culture. And take advantage of the... If this was you, I'd probably be gunning for this because I would want to make sure I was beating you to it, but the AI is going to be slower to get there, so...
The spoken word conquers all thought.
Okay, I'm going to do a stats check in the upper right here. 25. Okay, I'm doing all right. I'm only... Yeah, I think I'm right in the running at this difficulty level. And I'm at 2 settlements, and nobody has more than that yet, so I think I'm all right. And I've got my boost of 2 on the relic. So now the question is... Well, in this case here, I'm going to take this one, and that's because I just want that water. Otherwise, I don't have anywhere that I could put a water thing. Alright, let's be friends. Let's go currency. 0.5 more science. Alright, let's see, so it was 1, 2, 3, and from here 1, 2, 3, yeah. So this is the spot I want, it's on the coast. I just have to be real careful to not get ambushed by barbarians. Yeah, gold is too precious early in the game, so... Oh, interesting. Doesn't cost me anything to accept it, probably because we're allies. Alright. Come up here just to do that. Ooh, wow, look at that. Let's get these guys healing for a turn. Slinger going that way. Oh boy, yeah, not worth losing science for a turn, even for 50, so I'm gonna just go culture. Well, let's see if I can get over that.
Syncretism is the borrowing, affirmation, or integration.
Okay. I really want that to be done. But if this is my... See, nothing's going to give me 2, so this one here will give me a little boost to culture, which is where I need the help right now, and I don't see anything that's giving me a lot of production, so I'm going to... Alright, syncretism, let's see, so this one here... 1 gold for every resource assigned to the city once the quarter's complete. Plus I can compensate for culture and happiness. Or I could go this route and use the improvements. Plus it helps tourism later. I'm kind of torn between those two. I'm going to go the Great Wall because of how landlocked I am and how tight opponents are to me. That might just be a good defensive move. We'll find out, I guess. Let me see what this was. So it adds 2 to the settlement limit. 10% toward constructing and 10% toward... Yeah, it's not quite as good as getting my trade game going. So now's the time when I jump to trade and I go through discipline on the way to it. And then here I'm willing to sacrifice that to get the growth rate going for my towns, which right now is just the 1, but soon to be a couple. Uh-oh. It's already expanding. Let's see if I can snatch that. New Don't like those guys. Alright, we're gonna try to... Oops. Dead here. That clay could be pretty useful. Plus I want to try to get territory before he snatches it up. Let's see what the Great Wall... Because the other thing I've noticed about the Great Wall is it's pretty cheap to make. It usually only takes a turn if your production's in good shape. So it's a really great one to expand. But what I don't like is running it... I like to run it as far away from my city center as possible. Because once you set it up, you don't want to have to, you know, build over it again. You want to let it continue to exist. But it's pretty much an easy to add to the... culture score, so I'm going to go ahead since it's only a turn to do it, and it doesn't wipe out my previous improvement, it adds to it. look at the top score to see how I'm tracking. Even with that help, I'm kind of only in the middle of the road. And I'm not doing so great on the science at the moment either. So something I'll have to go back and... Oh, well, alright. I guess I'll take the science. Let's be back in the running on science again. Okay. So, if I'm kind of planning ahead on like the wall, what I want to do is I want to have improvements be around the perimeter and then have the wall kind of trace around the outside, which means that when I'm building, when I'm setting up districts, I don't want districts to be in the path of the wall that I want to use. So I'll probably run the wall like this. Let's see, can I go like this and then up and around like that? So up to there would be like a perfect wall for here. And then, let's see, 1, 2, 3. I could maybe run a couple of walls here once I expand to that point. And because I'm connecting my cities, 1, 2, 3, I could then, because let's see, 1, 2, here, 3 from the city center, I could run a wall along like this, along the shoreline, because I'm about to build the city here. Then I could put a single wall here. 1, 2, 3. I could put a single wall here to block that passage a bit. So yeah, I mean, I guess it depends too on if I put a city maybe up here. I guess we'll have to see if this is worth the effort to put one there, but that is kind of what I'm eyeing. As long as I can get it in time. Because then I have to start expanding outside of my immediate area. I'm not sure what the best expansion strategy is. Probably over here, if I can get there in time. So I might actually jump at this spot first once I get this settlement. So, okay, anyway. Building. I'm going to get that production going again, even though I want to build other things. I got to get the production engine moving, and this one gives me both science and culture here. So, and I need to get over to that thing. So let's just do open borders. Ooh, look at that! Wow. Gilgamesh is being aggressive with his settlements. That's not good. Let's see where he can go. He could still try to snatch here or here. So I better try to chew up that land as quickly as I can. Alright, so let's get my city renamed. This is my 3rd city. Let's see, so I guess we'll use the greenery to work our way. Okay. That should be pretty protected from by the mountains. Same with this stuff. So I want to put one more thing there. Probably a brickyard. Okay, that ought to protect it. Losing too much territory. Yeah, 10% across the empire. Let's do that. Well, this one gives me a lot of stuff and the production bonus. Oh, I hate to waste the gold, but I kind of need to fend off the shoreline for now, So I've been down on science the whole time, and I'm already close to a celebration, so I'll just do the science. Super. Well, looks like there might be a way down over there. So
Do nothing, which is when I.
hey, Mesa Verde is friendly now, so that's why I like to jump at those. Yeah. This food on camp, that's more of a permanent thing, so if I just need on camp, just as well. Okay, so this one will give plus foreign cities for non-capital. Yeah, I think I'll 1, 2, 3. So yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Alright, so here, now I don't have any production buildings left to build, so now I can prioritize according to what is needed next. And so, I think now I will, let's see, if I needed resource capacity, which I don't at the moment, I would jump toward here. But I think I need to either shore up culture or science, so I'm going to do the monument so that I can also get the influence going. I think I'm going to go up here so I can get this resource up there. Let's see. Let's go down there. Just set the path. Okay, so now I'm thinking right away I better get myself over here, see if I can snag that before it's too late. So as soon as Brandenburg's done with that building, I think I'm going to try to get another settler going. I'm going to probably avoid this checkpoint just because I don't think it's worth the hassle, because they're already expanding up there and competing. Of course, now I got to worry where this guy's going to go, because he could try to snag the coastline here, so I better get something built to snag that quick, or he's going to... Yeah, still no places. This is one of those rare cases where I might actually consider trying to take out an AI. Oh, look at that. That little turd.
The essence of all beings is the earth. The earth.
At this point, I just want to try to grab hold of that one. I either would try to grab this or maybe try to prevent some expansion there. This is my access to the ocean. Let's see, this is 1, 2, 3, but it'll only go to there, so... let's do that. So with tech, I'm trying to decide if I need to invest a little more heavily in military at this point or not, but I could use the production boost of the barracks regardless, and I don't see anything else that I'm just dying to jump at yet. Navigation would be nice for the lighthouse, but even there I'm not quite ready to invest, so I'm going to go with Sean's working. This is one of those cases where I might normally jump to a wonder, but I think I just... I'm going to just do another... And actually, I don't have one defending my capital right now, so I'm going to build 2 slingers. One to go with the settler, and one to stay behind at the capital. See how I'm doing on these stats in the top. Okay, I'm now leading in science by a good margin, so that's good. And yeah, you know, doing okay on the culture, so I could use some more help with the culture, but I'm not in trouble or anything. Okay, so I could either go with the science boost, which has good stats, or I could try to connect my path a little better here. 1, 2, 3. I'm already at the max there. Science boost. Yeah, I think I'll try to work my way over to the right. Move him back here for safety. Healing. And that's a city resource, but it's only 2 for the capital. All of these are giving good... Actually, this one can go to a town instead, so I'll do that. So I need like a harbor or a fishing key to be able to build ships. So I'm kind of on the fence here. So I don't want to have to do that. I only need 180 to build a settler, so I could actually shortcut my path to getting more people, getting more settlements, and kind of cover my... So if I manage to build a settler, I'm close and I can hop over here and not have to travel from the capital, and I can let the capital still build a settler and decide if I want to risk maybe coming south. I don't really have a place to build unless I come way down, and that's out of trade range. I don't know, maybe I would build right up in here and hope for the best. So that choke point could be valuable. I just don't like it being right by the volcano. So let's see, from here it would be 1, 2, 3. That'd be enough to connect my borders, and that's kind of the goal. Plus I could maybe sneak this guy if I hurry, but doubtful. Odds are these guys are going to snag those 2 resources. If I go here, then I can grab this guy. So maybe this would be the better move. Okay. Got my plan. Goodness, that guy didn't try to settle somewhere. Actually, I should check, make sure he can't build in here. He can't, he'd have to go here. Okay. Actually, the shoreline's really not that bad. I could expand over there, and if I were here, or actually here, 1, 2, 3, I could snag that. So this might be a good, reasonable place to build 2. It's just that I don't like 1, 2, 3. I mean, this, I guess it would secure this spot here. So I'd have access to the ocean for sure. Minus 100 production for 3 turns? How about it?
An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth.
Okay. So, if I take this guy here, that's a good bonus if I have enough warehouse buildings, because that gives a production bonus to warehouse buildings. So I'm going to pause and take a look at what I've got for warehouse buildings. Excuse me. Oh, yeah. Here's where I want to look. Excuse me. So from the resources page, you can see this is the little warehouses, number of warehouses that you've got. So we've got 3 in the capital, 2 in Marenia, 1 in Rebecca. So if I were to get that clay, I could swap one of these resources to get a +1 production for each. But it means I would have to sacrifice one of these other ones to do it. Probably the food. So yeah, I think it's probably worth it. What I'm also debating though is whether to go ahead and build up along the border so that I can get my walls, my Great Wall built. So this one has a +2 bonus here, +2 bonus here. I think I'll be patient and just kind of work my way around so I can build the wall. Okay, so I don't often build science buildings early, even though I like the +2 on science buildings. A lot of times I would go toward putting science on brickyards and harbors because, like I said, I tend to focus on early production buildings in settlements. So that would kind of play well with that. The other thing is if I do jump toward the codices, that can be a really good way to do it if I know I'm going to be taking those level 2 research items. Even though I jump to production, I don't really use this one because I don't count on being able to stay suzerain. Step pyramid, yeah, no, that's a little too niche, so I think I'm going to just stick with this guy down here. And so then a lot of times I'm kind of looking at whether I need more slots to create settlements, and of course entertainment has 1, organized military has 1, and then I've got this one over here that gives me 2 of them at once, which is good bang for the buck. There's also a reward for getting to be the first to philosophy. Sometimes I jump at that depending on I'm trying to remember what the bonus was. So if I pull up here, I can see that. Where was it? First to study philosophy. It gives you a +1 happiness on cultured buildings, which doesn't sound like much, but in some of the later, especially when you transition to a new age, having just that little bit of boost on happiness can be a big deal, because I don't know if you noticed, but you can sometimes be set back on happiness once you start a new age, like things sort of reset. So that can be kind of a biggie. But as far as like these legacies that I jump toward, if I play heavy on the wonders, I like to jump on this one only because right away you can have a nice culture and production boost on your cities that built wonders. So this can be huge. I'm trying to think of which other one. Sometimes I use this one too, the social policies. I like to get social policies and traditions as it is. You can see I'm already sitting at 5 out of 9. But this bonus going into the next one is really nice, because if you like to go heavy on policies and traditions, this can give you a nice little boost. And I've used that before too. You know, and a lot of these other ones, I mean, most of the time when I'm transitioning, I like to use the one that allows you to keep your cities and not have to pay to make them cities again. Unless I'm like so strong on gold. But I like this one here if I can get it, the 26 resources, to give me a boost on resources in all settlements, because then I can go heavy on the trade side of the game and still have room to slot all of the resources. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what else but I really don't jump at these very specifically. I don't change my strategy to hit these. It's kind of a matter of if it's convenient and I hit these, great. But I don't jump at them. The only one that I really try to work hard at is sometimes the wonder, and then sometimes this social policy one, and sometimes this resource one. And even there, I'm not usually being super deliberate, but I am mindful of the benefit of hitting those. So yeah. So anyway, where was I? I think I'll go back and I'll take a chance and see if maybe the Oracle's available still, so I'll jump at that. Policy or tradition. Yeah, I'll take that, I guess. Yeah, lost my open border agreement. So I'll do one again here. Ooh. Okay, I don't like that, even though we're allies. Yeesh. Yeah, no, I don't trust him when he has that much building up there. So I think what I'm going to do is... I've only got one move until bronze working's done, so I'm glad I went that route. But I'm actually going to have to pivot my strategy here. Yeah, no, that's not going to help me out. Let's do... Just as a safeguard, I'm going to go ahead and invest in the walls, which I hate to do, but I just don't have a choice. So, let's see, the cost for a settler was 180, so I'm going to have to wait 2 more turns before I can build my next settler over there.
He heard these horrors and his...
Actually, it's going to be more than that, because I got to upgrade that slinger. Do I want to do that, or do I want to save up for... I think I'm going to save up to try to become a suzerain of this culture one over here. Maybe buy myself the ability to approach without dying. Save here. Alright, I'm going to pull this back up. So I got currency. Oh no, it's bronze working that I finished. This is one case where I think I'm going to just as a safeguard jump to the wheel in case I need chariots. Although I don't see chariots on there. That's interesting. Do I not have chariots? Or am I totally spacing on where that's achieved? No, it's normally there. I wonder if I unlock it through here instead. I am baffled. Must be because I'm Mongolian and so I just have horses sooner or something. Huh. I don't know. I am missing something. Maybe I shouldn't be trying to trade with Gilgamesh. He's coming to kill me anyway. Spearman. Alright. Bump him up. Bump him up. Eesh. Not a fan. I think I'll just spend my 2 turns getting over there first and decide what I want to do. Well, let's do a stats check here. 36, so I'm leading on science, and I am trailing in culture. Okay. Let's see, is that settler going to try to sneak over there and grab that in between? I'm going to hope that I can get over to here. But I don't know, there's a chance I might not make it. Oh. Yep, okay. He grabbed it over there. Doggone it. That stinks. I'm going to have to take him out with military, I think, and it's going to be a while before I can do that because he's building up really heavily on military. So he's forcing me to really adapt my strategy here away from what I like to do. That's unfortunate. Science, or do I want to go this route? Well, I'm not a fan of this. Let's see. I'm going to need to get that water spot if I can, so I'm going to have to do that just to claim this place here, and then hope I can claim one more before he snags it. Wow, that really hurt. This might not be the best sample game that I'm giving you here. I guess you'll see how I pivot. I don't know if it will be helpful. Let's see if it's enough. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I clicked on something I didn't even click on. Oh. Well, I snagged this spot inadvertently, so I guess that's the silver lining. And then this one I'm about to grab on the next turn, so I think I'm okay. Alright. Four moves. Can I get there in time? One. Oh, I can make it there in one. Maybe I should just play it safe and grab that on my next turn, even though I want the choke point. 1, 2, 3, I can still get that resource. And I basically claim as much as I can here. Yeah, maybe I should just do it. Stinks though, I don't like to do that. What I really need to do is get a guy down here ASAP, but okay. Let's see if I can friend that. See, it'd be nice is if I could take advantage of this here. If I could maybe grab maybe this spot here. Or I want to make sure I get these 3 though right in here. And resource wise, I don't know. Maybe I could go here and then I could squeeze a second one on the other end. So that would probably be my goal, because 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's I think another one over here somewhere. He's got a settlement sitting in there. I can't quite tell where. But yeah, this is the island I'm eyeballing because it's worth connecting my stuff.
Remain less interested in who we are.
Okay, so what were this? 10% commanders. Nope, that's not. Some independent powers. I don't know, I'm not sure what the best one is to run for at this point. Well, I may have to invest more heavily in military, so I guess I'll maybe go that path for the time being. Let's see, I should find out how many fishing boats I've got here. 1. So not enough to probably jump at my altar. You know, if I were to go for the thing about going for the Oracle that's so great, part of the reason why this one is so important is that wildcard attribute point. Remember how I said in the beginning it's kind of a crapshoot with the attributes whether I jump for cultural and economic or scientific and economic? Well, by jumping to the Oracle, I can fill in the gap and grab the other one. So if I were sitting on, say, 4 cities at this point, or 4 settlements, that's 4 free culture right away just by clicking that. So it can be a pretty good early boost. Plus, I guess I should mention this. I should go look. But one of my general goals is that for the cultural, I'm always trying to get myself down to ideally this one culture from specialists. By the time I get to the later ages, this is huge because then you're investing more heavily in specialists, and that's the way you can kind of push your culture over the top. And on the science, it's a little hard on the culture to get your way over to here, but for the science, it's about this one science on each quarter that's a really big deal. So I work my way to that. Culturally, I try to work my way to this if I can. If I'm going really heavy on the culture toward great works, I might go this route instead. Economically, I kind of bend to what I'm having to do in the game. If I'm going heavy on trade, I'll go this route here and then kind of bump my resource multiplying up that way. Diplomatic, I do, of course, like to sometimes go for this middle one here if I can get my way to it, just to make it easier to befriend city-states. I don't really use expansionist all that often, to be honest. That one kind of falls by the wayside. Military sometimes. If I know that I'm in a... like, in this game, if I were playing with you, there's a good chance I would have tried to bump myself toward military only because of the civ I have and wanting the war support. Because going against you, I like to have that war support buffer. And then this one can kind of offset some of the unhappiness if I'm playing a war game and I can maybe snag that settlement. I don't usually work my way over here. Sometimes I just take advantage of this and, you know, go that route. But so most of my stuff is in the scientific, cultural, and economic, and then sometimes diplomatic, sometimes militaristic. So that was a mouthful, but I guess I can do chariots now. I wonder if I should invest in military. I really don't want to. So this is cheap single wall for one that can give me really rapid bonuses. But the library gives me a couple of codex slots, which I kind of need. But, you know, I'm following my own rule here, so I'm going to go with the barracks because I really need the boost on production. I can't get any more spots off this way, so I'm not worried about territory anymore. Well, I guess I could work my way up there, but I'll take that. Go there. No. Well, let's see. Orders here. Right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to bite the bullet. I don't have a choice. And then I'm gonna go with the fishing key to right away select those couple of hexes. And let's see, he's here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, he maxed out his expansion. He can't take that one. I really didn't need to jump at these now that I think of it. Oh well. So what I need to do is work my way over there quick. I went too quickly. I did that wrong. Oh, expansion is point. Let's see what we got. Quicker settlers, alright. Well, I'm going to go with this one because it gives me 3 and works me off to the left there. Alright, so if I'm patient, settler 220, so 3 more rounds before I can build it. Yeah, that'll have to suffice, I think. Go up there and defend. Yeah.
Inventor. Now.
Not my favorite setup, honestly. Let's see. So I'm going to see if I have room for a codex, because if I don't, I'm not going to invest there right away. But, oops. Okay, so I don't have any other buildings to take on a codex, so I'm not going to bother yet. But, let's see, blacksmith and unit flanking, that might be the way to go. Huh. I don't know. Huh. Yeah, I do like this chart the stars feature, by the way, because if I manage to get that one, you get 2 free altars, and a lot of times I'm not going to invest in the altars, but I don't know, this game I'm not positioned quite as well to take advantage of the altars, honestly, so we'll see. I think I'm going to try to get the blacksmith and to get the flanking bonus. I'm going to try to prioritize that for the moment. Well, okay, so if I do this, I'd get an expansionist point. Wild card. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take a break to get the. Yeah, I think I want the. Yeah, I'm kind of torn. I think I'll do the Great Steel, as much as I don't really want to have to do that. Of course, I'm gonna need to build a wall around here. So I think I'll put the. Yeah, I guess I don't really need a wall here, so maybe I'll. Food to Lorenia, or happiness. I'm only a couple of turns away on my celebration. Then I get another 100. Well, if I can get myself to that 100, I could bump. I can try to befriend another. Well, you know what? I should check and see how I'm tracking on that. Am I ahead? Okay, so I don't have anybody competing there. Oops. Was that? I must have got ahead. I'm blanking on where I... Yeah, I must have been competing for Mesa Verde and intervened early enough. Okay, well anyway. So I think I'm going to try to nudge me toward the celebration because 15 food's not a lot. Okay, do I want the science bonus? Or do I want to get myself out into the sea a little more here, because I don't have any presence in the ocean yet. Yeah, I think I got it. Alright, take the 100 influence. Let's help the scouts. And I forgot to change this. Oh, okay, so he's expanded as far as he can that way, so I think the place I need to target is probably right here where it's recommending, because 1, 2, 3, let's see, and then 1, 2, 3, it's not quite in range easily, but it's better than going here. 1, 2, 3, yeah, because I need the bonuses of this. So hopefully I can make it there in time. That's my goal. I just need next turn to build a settler. Nice. They're very friendly. Rebecca should probably be a city here once I get a chance. So I think I'll buy a settler. Yeah, okay, so 4 moves until I'm friendly with him. So let's see, I should be able to make it over there in about 4 without getting killed, I think. Yeah. Let's see, do I want the culture boost, or do I want to grab the connection here? Yes. Let's go with science first. Yuck. Here, let's take a look at the stats here. Okay, I'm holding okay on science. I'm lagging a bit on culture. I don't get too concerned this early on with where I'm ranking, but I am ranking pretty darn low on most things, but I don't know. Like I said, I'm not too worried about it in this difficulty level.
Those who delight to attack and to display their valor and fealty should be formed in...
Oh, I hate this shit. Well, let's see. Let's go... Yeah, I think I'm gonna go this way so I can pave the path for my wall. Could snag that, or that. Yeah, I think... Well, Plus it's only 3 to the capital, so I'll just swap that. I don't So I want Rebecca to turn into a city because I see it's got the highest production. That's always your best candidate for what to upgrade to a city. Because again, production is really the bread and butter of any city. So I need 150 to do that, so that should probably be my next priority. I think
May the might of the Lord cause no enemy to resist me.
So there it bought me a couple hundred. Now at least I get the benefit of a couple hundred gold every time. Doggone it. We're gonna upgrade that guy. And we'll get another one just to kind of do that. So here, I'm gonna just try to get those little boosts. Connect my Great Wall. And those are both cities. Let me go to Rebecca, convert to city. Then, again, prioritize the production first. This one, because it has the little bonus 3 on the warehouse buildings, I'm gonna go that route. Need to expand anywhere, so I think I may as well just try to complete some quarters. And then I can, let's see, 6 happiness in any other city, 4 food. Well, let's get happiness someday. And actually, this city would be a lot better at handling the jade bonus. So I think what I'll do is get that out of there. Bring those down. This one has more warehouses, so I'm going to stand to get more production from it. And then do I want 3 happiness in the capital or 2 food in the capital? Let's go happiness. Good timing. wasted path, but oh well. Looks like I lost my orders. Get that going again. Looks like I also have probably some room to... nah. Leave those alone. Okay. Going to check the upper right, see how I'm doing. So I've got 4 out of 5 settlements. I'm leading in the number of settlements, or I should say I'm tied with the lead. Stats are holding steady, so I think I'm okay. I should really get some trade routes going to help boost the money, because even though gold-wise I'm middle of the pack, I could really use a more gold focus. You'll notice I really have not used my civilization's abilities at all, which army commanders can use the convert independence actually to convert adjacent independent military units to your control, which that one is a pretty cool ability. I have used it before. Kind of turned the tide of a really aggressive city-state. But other than that, I just... that's exploration age, so capture opposing train. Okay, chariots are unlocked with agriculture. Oh, I had it already unlocked. That's why I was so confused. Yeah, so I want happy settlements, which is why I should emphasize happiness. In fact, I probably should be a little more deliberate about that. But yeah, I have not... This Alexander loves me. I should probably consider an alliance with him. There we go. Okay.
The truly brave never boast.
Actually, did I? Yeah, I still haven't built a library. So I should not go for codices yet. Well, phalanx or horsemen, do I want to boost my military? That's a little bit too much. Amphitheater. Yeah, lighthouse is just so darn valuable. I think I gotta toward that. So the blacksmith has a good effect on wonders, but I don't have a whole lot. I only have, what, 1 or 2 wonders, I think, so I don't think these are counted as wonders. They're not, so. But since it's just 1 spend it, I'm gonna do that. Ah, there it is. Wow, that's alright. Just have to wait a turn. Well, let's see. So here's my city hall. 1, 2, 3. So I should probably... Actually, what I should do is grab that, and then this should be a good candidate for an altar because I've used... I've updated 3 of them. So that would make a reproduction at some point. Alright, let's get that library. So you want to keep these clear for regular improvements, so I will go... free too, so probably barracks. Rid of him.
Oh, yeah.
Kill a turn there. You're kidding, right? He is not moving. What a jerk. Locksmith gives me the effect on quarters. 9 bonus. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a very big quadrireme. Let's see, did I find another city-state that hasn't been befriended yet? Yeah, he's almost there. That guy's well up away, so... Yeah, it's probably somebody over here I gotta find. Just don't kill me. Actually, that guy's got it covered, so I'm gonna bring this guy back up here. Migrant or 5 production. Well, migrant is actually pretty valuable to me because I'm trying to get that Great Wall border, so I am going to do that. Normally I would not do that.
An army is a miniature of the society which produces it.
Okay, so I've got a maintenance reduction. I don't know if that'll save me a lot of money, but I think I'll reduce my scout's capability and see. Let's say I'm at 41 right now. That bumps me to 46. Yeah, that's worth it. Okay. Already built. Mundo Perdido. And I can steal those secrets. I should really get that one. Quarters in the settlement limit. Entertainment's also good. Good for celebrations, but yeah. I haven't really stolen any government secrets. I really ought to be doing that, probably. Problem is, I like doing that to you, not to the computer, because I'm trying to actually, you know, get in good with them, you know. Let's see. still. Well, looks like I can't get over that way. This is my 5th, so this would be Myopolis. Okay, so, I don't think there was any. I want to get the territory that this one gives. And then I need to get, probably prioritize this since that brings down those 2 resources there. Okay, so migrant, that allows me to there, and then I can put a Great Wall continuation over there. Man, I hope Gilgamesh doesn't go to war with me. He's got a heck of a military. So let's get that Great Wall, get that boosted. And then let's see, do I have more? I've got another, well, no, see, I do get a Great Wall one here. Let me see what I have for options. So now I can run it along here. This one I want, well, yeah, I have to go around that resource. That's got rivers, so I guess those 2 are the ones I want. So, yeah, alright. Let's do that. Let's see if I can get him around here maybe, and see if I can chart some of that. Nice to know what's down in here, so I can
Ships at a distance have every man's wish.
And I got a free settler because of that. 33% of map, so another reason to explore, I guess. Okay, so I think that's going to be too close on this island, but this island, if I can get over there, I can get as far up as this for the resource. This is worth some coin there. So this should be my next target if I can get to it. Problem is that he's only got 2 settlements. That's a logical place for him to expand. So I might not have a whole lot of time. And this is, I definitely want to get down in here and grab the other half of this island. Got good resources here. There's really not much in the way of like gold or silver around. That's kind of disappointing. I would like to jump at those. So it's been a good challenge. Okay, so do I want the happiness boost or science boost? Yeah, grab that. Yeah, trying to get those maximized yields. Alright, so here, there's still this one I really want to lock down, and there's this one I want to lock down just to get my space ironed out. This one here would grab me these 3 tiles, even though it's not a resource. I think I'm going to do it. I want to make sure I have a good passage. 1, 2, 3. I will anyway, I guess. So I guess that wasn't totally necessary, but I did. That'll be good, though, because I can go for this one and this one still. Okay, so let's see. Saw pits and fishing keys. I do like to go for that social policy slot. But I want to see how how I'm tracking for culture. 49. I'm second overall at culture. I think I'm going to take the social policy slot. Plus, there's a bonus for filling a certain number of them. Be the first to do it, I think. So there's benefits there. I think I have room to fill codex to put codexes now. Let's see. Yeah, I've got 2 slots, so I should probably do that. That'll boost my science. I don't think I'm itching. Sometimes I race to get to mathematics 2 so that I can go for the Great Library. Because I like the science boost, but I don't think I need to do that in this case. Trade range would probably be helpful. I gotta get traders going. I still haven't done that. Okay, so influence boost, 2 more policies. So yeah, I really like going this route because it just really... Yep, and there's that 9 policies. That gives you the additional tradition slot next age if you want, with a bonus. So I like that one a lot. But you'll notice I wasn't really trying for it. I kind of knew in the back of my mind it was an option. But chart the stars. That's one that gives 2 free altars upon completion. That's worthwhile. But I see the Oracle is still out there. I feel like I really ought to do that. Yeah, let's see if I can grab it. Let's see, blacksmith. I'm sitting at 24 for... I think I'm going to grab that other Great Wall. And because those are ageless, those bonuses carry forward, and that's really, really nice. Let's see, happiness. I want that extra science boost because it's almost worth 2, so I think I'm going to forego that. Get my science boost. Yeah, I also need to get a merchant here. Okay, so there's that free trader. Or, sorry, not trader, settler. And this is where I want to go. It's going to take me 7 turns, so I don't know. We'll see if I can make it. Plus it's... Well, it's not hostile anymore, I don't think. And I could drag one of these guys off, but I see just the sheer number of armies that Gilgamesh has throughout. I may have to start investing in military out of necessity. I think I better go bring that guy up there so that I have somebody guarding. Yeah, you can see just how little I prioritize my military until I absolutely have to. That's why usually I like to use walls around my cities just as the safeguard to buy me time if I need it. I am being really reckless in this case. But it's because I don't want to fall behind on stats, so I
an
might be
eye
screwed
for
if
an
he goes to
eye,
war with me.
a tooth for a tooth.
Well, there's 3 production. This will give me a 10% culture boost. I think I'll go that route, then I can build the water. Well, Colosseum is one that I'd really like to get. I can do another Great Wall, but see, it costs a little bit more now, so I might be better off trying to snag the blacksmith. Huh. Happiness is okay. I wouldn't mind getting that. Yeah, I don't really need to know. Yeah, let's get the blacksmith. I already have 1, 2 quarters, so that's worth the bit. Huh, wow, alright. Okay, so I'm seeing the camel there. I don't really have much in the way of slots available, so I kind of need to give myself some camels.
When I was young, I thought that money was the most important thing in life.
Yeah, that 3 combat strength for fortified districts can be really helpful too, just as a little bit of an extra defensive measure. Where the city walls come in handy. Yeah, I'm hoping I can get out to the east because I don't have really any direct east coast to get over there. I'd have to snake through a bunch of civilizations just to get out of my continent, so I'm not really positioned very well for the next age. Probably make another city as well, but I'm kind of postpone that if I can.
I count the grains, measure the sea. He was the first.
One time. All right. So with that, so you'll see my culture. That was, yeah. So culture is currently sitting at 50. Now I'm up to 55, just like that. So that's why I like to prioritize that one. Oh, I didn't look at the... okay, I'm full. I need another library or something. Okay, let's see. So he grabbed that one already, so I guess that means he grabbed this one. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So I've gone out as far as I can that way. Now I should try to lock... Let's see. 1, 2, 3. He can't really do anything there. So now I should be able to grab the middle tiles. And then for this one, I do like that this provides a +4 bonus and a gold bonus on the capital. I also like making additional resources available. Might be the way to go in this case. I don't remember if the lapis carries over into the next age. I don't know that it does, and I'm at 74% of the way through the age, so I think I may just boost my resource capacity. So you can see that I don't really benefit from putting this up there, even though I kind of need the boost. I don't know. I'm starting to think maybe I should go that route. And oh, this is disconnected anyway. It doesn't matter. Shoot. All right. Well. That was kind of a waste, but that's okay. Migrant. Free brickyard purchase. Let's do that. Codex or influence. Codex, although I don't have anywhere to put it yet. Yeah, since I don't have anywhere to put these codices, I'm gonna just take a look into the ironworking so I can get some horsemen and defend my continent a little better. Wait a minute, where's that? Here, and then I can grab my great wall like that. Yeah, I think I'll... over there. Oh no, look at that. Shoot. He's gonna try to beat me there. I'll have to get lucky, I guess. Well, this one can be big because it gives you a couple of resources. That's why I like the lighthouse. But I also have to chart the stars, which will give me a couple of altars. And I do like that one a lot too. I think I'll do the lighthouse, get that gold going here.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women
Heard. Can't get around them. Gilgamesh is sitting only with 3 settlements. Man, he's really going far for that one. Let's go expand the territory. Okay, and then there's a couple more settlement options. Let's see, Great Wall now. Expand out. Alright, so now get rid of that one and we will put in the +2 for all settlements. Look at that, he's got another one over there. He doesn't know what he's doing. Hopefully. If he were a smart AI, I'd be in trouble. Alright. Well, I wonder if I can cut him off at the pass. Let's see. So he's going to want to probably settle there, so let me go grab that spot. And then hope to get lucky. Wow. Kinda stinks. Well, let's do chart the stars. Although, wait, I did have Colosseum in there. Happiness and gold on quarters in the settlement. Space though. Wait, did I do that already? I did, but it's letting me do that. Alright. I need a library so I can place that there. So my Apple is technically disconnected. That's because I need to get some sort of port or something over there. So I need saw pit. Then I can put a fishing key. Let's see, so this is my city hall, so I'm going to come out. So now I think that might have connected it. Yep, it did connect it. Okay, good. So I just needed the dock. Okay, he came up onto there. I think I'm hosed. So unless he decides to move along, he might just build right there and I'm toast. Oh, that would suck after going through all that trouble. This is going to probably be my next city because I'm guessing it's going to be pretty high on. I'm already up to 11. Yeah, it's already the third best for production. It's not even all that developed.
The whole wild wool.
Oh, he moved on. I got lucky. Alright, so that's Isaacson. And we're just going to do that right away. Let's see, I want to get that. 1, 2, 3. I can only get all 4, so. Oh, oops. So I got to expand first. Let's see, militaristic or expansionist? Expansionist, I could work on growth rates. Militaristic, could set myself up for war support. Huh. Yeah, let's go militaristic. War support. That water to get to that. Shoot, I did not even think of that. Alright, well, in that case, I'm just going to prevent him from taking too much of my territory. Well, get a little bit of a boost to this. perch him there. Man, I don't like all these islands. It's just gonna take forever to figure out a good way to settle. Expand my way out here quickly to be sure. Harbor? Or stop it. Better make sure I get that resource there. I'd be really ticked if I didn't. Some gold on quarters in the settlement. Yeah, that does feel good. 4 golden cities or 2 science towns. I think I want that. Hey, alright.
Iron Maiden.
Oh, let's go all the way to mathematics here, but yeah, I'm gonna go for that spherical Earth. Okay, so alter. With as many fishing boats as possible, so maybe Elijah or yeah. Now this is the passageway, so it's worth my while to put that there, I think. Defend it with a unit, and if I could build my way over here, I could create a wall through there blocking that passage too. And I've got the last place I intended to go with a wall.
After the assembly gathered, the elders gave their answer.
10 turns. Okay, so I think I want to try to sneak this spot here, or I could try to sneak over the top of them here. I think coral is a little bit more resource rich, so I'm better off trying to go that way, I think. Happiness on wonders. 2 seasonal settlements. Yeah, I think I'm going to try to give myself a little boost on the city growth. Water? No, it doesn't. Yeah, you have to overwrite. I don't want to do that. Although there is that spot down there. That truck did that one too? No, I didn't. So Mundo Perdido is +1 science on improvements, +1 happiness and districts in the tropical. Okay, he's not going to make it over there. The harbor here. Sweep that spot. Carve the path for the Great Wall. Oh, somebody went over there and grabbed it. Well, guess I should have hurried over there. Alright. Yeah, that's the other thing with when you start a new age and you don't have access to walls anymore, it's like you better get them before the age wraps, otherwise you gotta research your way to medieval walls. Which I'm assuming you know, but just trying to talk about my strategy.
While stands the Colosseum, Rome shall stand. When falls the Colosseum, skill is handed down to me from my ancestors in a perpetual line of accumulated wisdom. Perfection.
Fortified districts. Let's see. Yeah, I'll see if I can boost the gold. Let's see, I'm at 128 now, 136. Here, let me show the stats. So I'm second on science and I'm leading in culture. So, I mean, I kind of got to where I want to. I've got 6 settlements out of 9 possible. The next is 5 on the list with Alexander. So, and I'm top for happiness. So, I mean, at this difficulty level, I'm still managing to kind of get myself in line by the end of the age. So that's, you know, that's really the goal. Let's see, I think I got everything on that one. Yeah, I did. All right, so I don't know if I can. Yeah, this is one of those rare times where I'm not gonna get through the entire tree in time. Let's go Honda. Yeah, I think I'm going to just try to see if I can hammer out commerce. Yeah, so now I'm kind of at the point where I have to actually destroy my Great Walls if I want to venture out. So I guess I'm going to make some walls instead. Market will give me another. So what I want to do is get walls around the Great Wall to go here, or maybe around like this. But I don't know that it's necessary. I don't know. It is. Oh, if I go here, then I can have the wall go straight across. If I bring it over here. Set the wall up there. Ah, this is 5 moves away. I need the granary to help boost the yields. So now 4 turns away. Then I can upgrade that. Then I can get the wall to snake through there. Okay, let's grab that resource. That resource. 12 science or I don't know if it matters that much. What was I gonna do? There was something I was gonna. Oh yeah, I wanna buy walls for that. Let's see. Do all of my cities have at least one wall? This one does not. Look at that, man. 1, 2, 3. So I gotta snatch those spots, or I'm gonna get landlocked. Sheesh. Now, if I go that route, I could try to get more walls. Which I think I should, just in case he goes to war with me in the next stage. Okay, so if I go here, snag a couple more. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I think it's just this one here that I need now to maximize my space. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. What? Ow! I don't know what I clicked on. Hate it when I do that. Okay.
The dogs bark.
2 turns left. Okay, so. Oh, you know what? But anything that can build in the ocean. No. Bummer. Oh wait. Actually, what I'm wanting to do, I want to get this space so that I could put a wall here and connect the Great Wall here to here. Which, this, like that. Yeah, I'm not going to make it there in time, I don't think, because I must have screwed up and expanded the wrong place and not seen it. But it doesn't matter, that's still a choke point, so I'm alright. But, oh wait, no. It's waiting for me to do that now, so I can do that. Okay, so then I got my Great Wall connecting there. Nice choke point. I'm set up to put one there. I'm not going to get to, though. Or wait. Oh yeah, that's right, because this has to get improved, and I'm 12 moves away from another expansion, so I'm not going to expand the wall this age, but next age I could expand here, have a nice perimeter. I could expand here and make another wall there. Basically build up a nice set of defenses. Combat strength against independent powers. Culture buildings. Oh, you know what? That really doesn't matter at this point. I don't know why I'm laboring that. Okay, let's just move it along. 2 turns left.
Do nothing which is of no use. There is Geo.
Good timing. Let's add a little bit of culture. 110. Well, I'm just debating whether I want to position myself with some units for the next age. I've kind of got the basics set up here. I should make sure that I have an archer there. He's kind of going to get upgraded for me, I'm guessing. I feel like I definitely want an archer there. Yeah, I can't build anything in 1 turn other than this, and I don't want to get rid of any of that, so... guess I'll just build an archer.
After the assembly, he heard these horrors.
Okay, so I really didn't put a whole lot of codices in it to help my case. Let me just kind of finish out the turn and I'll talk here. There's no sense in me adding another codex. So let's take the science bonus. Point. Okay, so let me kind of go through how it ended up here. So the final stats, you can see that with that approach, I'm leading on gold as far as gold per turn, 154. The next closest is 118. Second for science advancement. First for cultural in terms of stats here. I'm doing really well on happiness, 101. Next closest is 61. I've got the second most influence rate of growth. I've got the most cities, or most settlements rather. I've only got 2 trade routes in place, so I'm surprised that I'm showing yields this high, considering. And then if I go to the victories, I managed to work myself up to the top on cultural, second for economic, first for military, third for scientific. None of these feel insurmountable in any one of these categories to me. I think that overall I'm showing the highest score. So I don't know. I'd be comfortable going into the next round with this setup, even though I don't like this map. I feel like I'm kind of at a disadvantage positionally, but I think I could probably still pull it off because I think I've got the economic engine in place. And so as I'm preparing to transition, I would look at it and say, all right, well, Mongolia, if I hover over, I really don't like their abilities, and I'm not taking advantage of it, clearly. So this is almost a worthless civilization for the play that I did. So let's see, receive production in all cities when pillaging improvement. Yeah, I don't plan on pillaging, really. It's not really my style, so I don't like that. Okay, fortification building or a wonder, gain 25 culture for each urban population in the settlement. That's pretty good. +2 culture and food on fortification constructibles in tropical terrain. I don't know what I've got sitting in tropical terrain, but I have a lot of fortification buildings, a lot of those walls. Iceland, 500 culture meter score, natural wonder. Yeah, no. Inca can work mountain terrain. That could be a big deal, actually, because I am surrounded by a lot of mountains in several of my cities. +2 food and +1 production on mountain terrain, which that might include that natural wonder, which would boost it even further. Can generate homelands, treasure convoys in cities with 3 worked mountains after completing a certain civic. That could be huge. I love it when you can generate homeland treasure convoys on your, because you meet the conditions, you make that a priority, and you can really race ahead on the economic victory. So I'm kind of leaning there, but let me just, that was Inca, right? Yeah, let's see, Ming, 50 sign. Okay, that's okay, that could be interesting. No. Shawnee, food and resource capacity. No, I think Inca is probably the no-brainer for me. Terrace farms. Which are those on mountains? Rough terrain without a river feature. No, okay, but yeah, so I mean that's probably the route I would go. And then you can also change your attributes here. So I go to view map and then I say, all right, well, where do I want to expand? And I would say, all right, I have a ways to go to get where I want on cultural, so I might, but I am kind of weak in cultural, so I might go that route. this I could compensate for some happiness. Sometimes I like to just get this one, and then sometimes this one to help befriending independence. So maybe diplomatic. Economic, trade routes, yeah, maybe not feeling it right now. Militaristic, no. Science, yeah, I kind of want to get down to here, and I like this 15% building. I think science and maybe diplomatic, so I can get that. So if I go back, so science and diplomatic. So I've got science. I'm gonna change this to diplomatic. Continue. Finish off the turn, do my transition, and yeah, maybe I'll show how I set up for the next, the approach that I typically take when I start a new age. I don't know if that matters to you or not, but I'll show you what I do. Oh man, it's approaching 2:30. I guess it took me a little further than I thought to get through all this. Yeah, man. Okay. Okay, so the very first thing I do, I'm going to turn this off so I can see, but first thing I do is I go in and I flip my attributes to do what I want. I'm working toward this quarter here, so I'm going to do that. It's either that or the constructing buildings, but I kind of want to get down to this science per quarter. Okay, so then what I do is I go into my resources and I make sure that everything is not on, that everything is released so that I'm starting fresh. Okay, and then I look and I see, all right, here are all these. And I look at my dedications and I can kind of see what my base stats are without any helpers. And because I kind of know what I need to do here anyway, but see, I'm also might make some of these cities, right? So I can see how their stats line up and everything, and I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna first do this, and I'm gonna say I want all of my cities remain cities. But I could check and see what it would cost to convert them. So it would cost 400 for that one. Actually, what did I have for cities last time? I had, well, it was just the two, wasn't it? I don't think I went any further than the 2 cities. So since this is only 275, I actually might not do that. Instead, I'll do that. And then I don't have to waste a slot on that. But what I do want is I want additional tradition slot and to get the bonus for using them. I could even start with another one if I want to, just to help boost that further, but I'm going to look this over first. 200% cost amounts. Yeah, I really didn't open up a lot of custom dedications or anything, so... but this one could jumpstart me pretty quickly. I could do settlers. I kind of need to figure out where I want to expand. So I'm going to do that, and then per alliance. Now I am starting with 2 alliances intact right away, so I could have a pretty big happiness boost right out the gates. And that might be, it would only cost me a little bit of gold to buy a couple of merchants, so this is not like a huge boost, but this is. So I'm going to go that route. And then I'm going to take a look at my policies. I don't have a whole lot of wonders. Okay, I want the gold. So I'm already starting at 97, but I could use more. I've got a pretty good boost on influence. I think what I want is to make sure that my people are really happy. And Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave one of them open long enough to see what this does to the gold. So I'm at 109, and I can go in and I can see, all right, so it goes from 109. If I take the maintenance, 109, it jumps to 119. Is that worth 10 for that slot? Sure. So I could start with that. You can see if I hover over 119 gold right out of the gates, way better than all of my opponents. And I can also look at the other stats. So you can see I'm second for science, pretty good first place for culture, killing it on happiness, tied for the top on influence. Yeah, I mean, I like, and I have not even assigned my resources yet, so let me go and do that. What I should do is consider making probably Myopolis a city, because it's got 33. So let's see what it costs to do. I'm not quite able to do that, so 675 is what I need. So I'm going to save up for a couple of turns to get that, to make that a city, because then I can bring the 15% gold bonus down there, because it's got a really healthy base yield, but it's not a city, so I can't use it there. So for now, I'm just going to drag these over here. Let's see, I don't think anything's suffering for happiness right now, but this one could use a little bit of it. 5 golden cities. And gold. All right, we'll throw it there. So that's kind of how I would start it, and then, so then you can kind of see that I'm in a really good place for a starting point going into the next round. I could probably make up that science deficit pretty fast. Obviously, I would focus pretty heavily on getting my military shored up in these on my main continent to safeguard against Gilgamesh, just in case, because I've known him to double cross in the past. And I'd be looking at my expansion points, probably trying to get down to the southwest here, see if I can get my path down here, because this is still considered homeland, so it wouldn't, but I'd probably try to populate there first, because I've got 3 open slots. So anyway, that's really how I would approach the game and how I generally do it. I mean, I just sort of pivot, but I think that the real key is, now that as I kind of talk through it and think through it more, the key for me is that when it's cities, I focus on buildings that maximize production, and I look at ways to make sure that production is the first thing that I focus on. With towns, it's the other way around. I start with food, because growing the towns is what it's all about. Unless the town is naturally high with production, in which case I might tip it toward production a bit, to lock down the land, to get it started, and then it's a candidate to convert to a city. So that's pretty much how I approach it. I don't know if that's helpful or not, but you'll have to let me know. So I guess I'll see you online soon, now that it's 2:30 in the morning. Oops. See you later.